The day we all been waiting for is finally here. That's right, the 2023 Stanley Cup playoffs begin tonight at the time that I'm recording this video, April 17th, 2023. And in this episode, I'm going to be going through my bracket challenge and giving you guys my predictions. So without further ado, let's get it started over in the West with the defending Stanley Cup champions Colorado Avalanche taking on the Seattle Kraken. Now, I do think this will be a really good series actually. And originally I did have Colorado in 6 games, but I think Colorado's more stronger than Seattle in that. So I'm actually going to take Colorado in 5 there. Yeah, I do think this will be a good series. I think Colorado will win, will end it quick. Nothing to take away from Seattle. They are a great team. They've been great all season. And it's pretty impressive that they made the playoffs in just their second year in the league. However, Colorado has more playoff experience, and I just think Colorado has the better team. Now, of course, Colorado is without their captain Gabriel Landeskog for the entire playoffs, which is a big loss for them. And Colorado's been dealing with a lot of injuries, but they still have great guys on their team with Nathan MacKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, and Val Nichushkin. We've seen how good Nichushkin was in the playoffs last year for the Avalanche, and that's why I think they'll get past the Kraken in 5. Going on to the next series here, we got the Stars taking on the Wild. I think this will be another great series. Two really good teams here. Obviously, the second in the Central taking on third in the Central. I just think Dallas will end this in 5, but it could go 6-2, but I'm taking the Stars in 5. I just think the Stars have more center depth, and a better core than the Wild, so I'm taking the Stars in 5. Next one here, we have the Golden Knights taking on the Jets. Excuse me, sorry, my throat's all clogged up today. The Golden Knights taking on the Jets. I think this will be a good series too. All these are gonna be great series, regardless. Vegas is without Logan Thompson, their goalie, for at least the first half of the playoffs. Obviously Logan Thompson's been a great goalie for them all year, but they do have Jonathan Quick back there too, who has a great playoff resume. And of course, the Jets have a great goalie in themselves too with Connor Hellebuck. However, the Jets kind of just squeaked into the playoffs, and Vegas, I think, is a much stronger team. So I'm taking Vegas in 5 for this one. Now going down here to the Oilers and the Kings, a rematch of last year's first round matchup. And I could easily see this one going 7. I think it went 7 last year. Both teams are great. You know, the Kings got Korpisalo now, who's been playing fantastic for them. The Oilers, they look like they have a much stronger team this year than last year. Of course, last year they made it to the Western Conference Final. They look like they're much stronger this year. You know, they added Matthias Ekholm on defense. So their defense core looks a little bit stronger. And of course, you got McDavid and Draisaitl and all those guys. I think this will be a close series. I could see this going 7 again, but I'm taking the Oilers in 6. I think they just got something to prove this year, and I think they're a much stronger team than they were last year. So I'm taking the Oilers in 6. Heading over to the East now. The Bruins taking on the Panthers. Now, this one should be a really good series, too. Like I said, all these are going to be great series, so I'm probably going to just be saying that a lot. But the Bruins and the Panthers. Let's start with the Bruins. Obviously, we know how good the Bruins are this season. I said it before and I said it again. They are one of the best teams we've seen in hockey for a while now. I mean, one of the most historic teams in the NHL. Like, they broke the record for most wins in a single season this year. They broke the record for most points in a season this year, which was set back in like 97 or something like that. They are the best team in the NHL right now, and they've been on fire all season long. Of course, they did win the President's Trophy this year, and there is known to be a President's Trophy curse the last couple of years in the playoffs. But I don't think that will matter to them. They've been hot all season. And with the Panthers, the Panthers just squeaked into the playoffs there too. Looked like they weren't going to make it there for a sec, but they just got in due to the Penguins losing and all that. So they just squeaked in there. And I think Boston's just way too good for them, like I said. I could see Florida winning one game in this series, maybe, but I took the Bruins in 4. I think they're just going to steamroll the Panthers. Like I said, Boston's been hot all year, so I don't think they'll have any trouble with the Panthers. Now, next one here. The Leafs and the Lightning. Okay. You can see my original prediction, but I might change this one, okay? So, I'm not gonna. Well, I'll go into a bit of detail with this one, but not much. So, originally, I picked the Lightning in 7 because we know when Tampa's in the playoffs, and of course, they got Vasilevsky in that. We know how good Vasilevsky can be in the playoffs. And we know Toronto's not good at first round experience in the playoffs. So that's why I picked Tampa in 7. It went 7 last year and Tampa ended up beating them. However, this is why I am actually going to change my prediction, because Tampa this year have been struggling their last couple games in the season. They haven't been that great. They lost like near the end of the season. I think they lost their like last 10. They haven't been very good on the road to this season. And Vasilevsky, he hasn't really had the best season either. But like I said, if he gets hot in the playoffs, we know how good he can be once he gets hot in the playoffs. And that could be the game changer for Tampa. However, I think the Leafs are stronger this year, and that's why I'm going to go with the Leafs to actually win this one. And it's not going to be 6 games. It's going to be 6 games I'm giving them. So I'm giving the Leafs 6 games. I think the Leafs are finally going to get past the first round this year. Like I said, Tampa's just been struggling their last couple games this season. Of course, season stats don't matter in the playoffs. It's playoff hockey, of course, anything can happen. But I think the Leafs just get it done this year. And they get past the first round at least. And beat Tampa in 6. Okay, next one. The Hurricanes and the Islanders. This will be another great series too. However, like I said, with the Panthers, the Islanders just squeaked into the playoffs also. And the Hurricanes are just have way more stronger depth, I think. Um, of course, Islanders, they added a bit of pieces. They got Bo Horvat, who's great. But I just think the Hurricanes have um, so much more depth than the Islanders. Of course, the Hurricanes are going to be without Svechnikov, Pacioretty, and Andre Kasha. At least that's what I heard. So those can be pretty key losses for the Hurricanes. However, I think Carolina steamrolls this series too. Or, actually, you know what? I'm gonna give the Islanders a game on this one. I'm gonna give the Islanders a game. Uh, yeah, let's see if I can do that. No, I think Carolina will sweep them. Well, I have Carolina in a sweep here. I don't think it will. Yeah, it's not letting me swipe over. Okay. Well, even though that says sweep there, I will be nice and give the Islanders a game. So I'll pick Carolina in 5. Just ignore that saying the sweep. Okay, so Carolina in 5. Since I can't change it. Okay, next series. This is going to be a really, really close one, I think. This will probably be one of the best series. The Devils against the Rangers. Oh boy. Okay. Both teams obviously have a lot of great top 6 and all that. You know, the Rangers added a lot at the deadline this year. And the Devils, they've been surprising people. Like this season, I didn't think the Devils would be this good, but they are. Jack Hughes has been having a great year for them. Um, Lots of other guys on their team too. You know, they picked up Timo Meyer. Nico Heishier's been great for them. And then for the Rangers, they picked up, of course, Vladimir Tarasenko and Patrick Kane, which is great because their top 6 is deadly. They got Panarin, Kane, Tarasenko, Zibanejad, all those great guys. And they got Igor Shesterkin, backing them up in the net, who's a great goalie. However, I do think, and this is going to be a wild series, this can go either way. I think this is going to go to 7. And I'm actually going to switch it to the Rangers. I think the Rangers will get it done in 7. But like I said, it could go either way. You just never know. I just think Shesterkin, he's been great for the Rangers in that. And I think with the Rangers having guys like Tarasenko and Patrick Kane, who've had great playoff success, and playing alongside with Panarin and Zibanejad, I think they will get it done in 7 against the Devils. Of course, the Devils don't have any playoff experience really with Jack Hughes and all those guys. Not to say that they could definitely win the series, just if you're talking playoff experience, the Rangers are pretty good at that. But it could go either way, like I said. But I'm taking the Rangers in 7. Okay, now we'll move back over to the West in the second round here. The Avalanche against the Dallas Stars. Ooh, this will be a great series as well, as Colorado and Dallas near the end of the season there were battling for first in the division. Obviously, Colorado finished first in the division, Dallas getting second, but they were battling for first in the division the last couple games of the season there. This is going to be a great series. I could see it going the distance, maybe 6 or 7. However, like I said before, Colorado, despite them being, despite the injuries they have had all season and being without their captain, Colorado last year proved that goaltending doesn't matter to them. Of course, they had Darcy Kemper last year. And you can say he did have his games and he didn't have his games. He wasn't the best, I'd say, for them. But they proved that goaltending doesn't seem to matter, and they got it done anyway. So that's kind of the same case with Georgiev too. He, Georgiev, he has had some good games with the Avs, and he's had some bad games too. But Colorado, like I said, last year proved that goaltending doesn't matter to them, and they do have a strong team. You know, like I said, they still have Mikko Rantanen, Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar, Val Nichushkin, who's had a great playoff run for them last year. They still have great guys like that. They have Dennis Malgin, too, who's been having a decent year for them, too, that they picked up from the Leafs. He's had points in his last couple games of the season there. And they have Rodriguez, all these guys. Arturi Lukkinen, who had a good playoff run last year too. Colorado still has a lot of depth, and so do the Stars. Don't get me wrong, Dallas is a great team as well, but I just think Colorado is gonna get it done. And for a series prediction on this one, I'd say in 6. Give it 6. But yeah, I just think Colorado's still strong, and I think they know that well, they know they want to go back to back. They know they had what it takes to get it done last year, and I think they believe they can get it done again this year. So, Colorado advancing to the Western Conference Finals once again. Okay. Now, for the ever second round matchup, the Golden Knights and the Oilers. This will be two great teams again, once again. Um, I could see this maybe going the distance too, maybe 6. Um, However, I just think, like I said, I think the Oilers have a much stronger team than they did last year. And of course, if we know the story that the Oilers are going for this year, they want to get it done for Benny this year. Obviously, that little kid that was there for them in the playoffs last year. They didn't get it done for him last year, which is pretty unfortunate for him. Um, but he is there in spirit behind them. So, and the Oilers say every night that they play hard every night for him. And McDavid said McDavid said too that they want to do it for Benny. So I think that's gonna motivate them through this playoffs, and I have them beating the Golden Knights and going back to the Western Conference Final once again. Now over in the East. Okay. second round matchup here in the East. The Bruins and the Leafs. So, like I said, I think the Leafs will finally get past the first round. However, in the second round, they are going up against the Bruins, and we know their history against the Bruins. Not much to say here. The Bruins are just way too stronger for the Leafs, and I have the Bruins advancing. It's just simple as that. The Bruins are way better than the Leafs, way stronger, and that's why I have them advancing. Now the next second round series here, oh my goodness. I can definitely see this going 7 games. Carolina against the New York Rangers. Oh boy. Yeah, this could go either way. I think this I think if this were to be a second round matchup, it would definitely go 7 games. Oh, and it's hard to pick, but I did go with the Carolina Hurricanes. I did go with the Carolina Hurricanes to advance over the New York Rangers and go to the Eastern Conference Final. Alright, so let's go back over here to the Western Conference Final. Our Western Conference Final rematch from last year, the Colorado Avalanche and the Edmonton Oilers once again. And it's gonna sound like I'm a broken record here, but like I said, the Avalanche last year proved that goaltending doesn't matter. And although they did have quite a struggle this season at the start of the season anyway, with injuries, they their players got healthy, some of them at least, and they came back stronger. And they've been on a tear their last couple games of the season. They won first in the division once again, like they did last year, and they, like I said, despite being without their captain, they are still a strong team, and they believe that they can get this done again, which is why I have the defending Stanley Cup champions, Colorado Avalanche, going back to the Stanley Cup final. And right here in the Eastern Conference final, another great series, the Bruins and the Hurricanes. Like I said, there's just nothing you can say more about Boston. They've been hot all year and dominant all year, and I don't see anyone stopping them. I don't see how they can get stopped, which is why I have this going a pretty good series too. This could go 6 or 7 for Bruins and Hurricanes, but I have the Boston Bruins advancing to the Stanley Cup final, which is your Stanley Cup final is the Colorado Avalanche, defending Stanley Cup champs, against the Boston Bruins. Now, let me just start off by saying, if this what is to be the Stanley Cup final, if this does end up being the Stanley Cup final in real life, wow, I think this will be an amazing Stanley Cup final if this happens in real life. I would definitely give this 7 games. I can definitely see this going 7 games. However, here is my pick. The 2023 Stanley Cup champions going back to back. I have the Colorado Avalanche going back to back. That's right. Y'all might not agree with me, but they last year they battled through some injuries as well, and like I said, goaltending didn't matter for them. They still have a strong team, a lot of great playoff performers and great players. Mikko Rantanen's been having one of his best seasons this year. Nathan McKinnon's been having a great year once again. And this is why I think the Colorado Avalanche will take down the Boston Bruins in 7 games to go back to back Stanley Cup champions. Well, there you have it, everyone. That is my bracket challenge predictions. So I have the Colorado Avalanche defeating the Boston Bruins in Game 7, going back to back Stanley Cup champions. Now, if you enjoyed this and you're excited for the playoffs tonight, please leave your predictions down in the comments. I'm really interested to see who you guys think will win the cup. Or give me your round by round predictions. It's always interesting to see that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Enjoy the playoffs tonight, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, everyone.